Good morning, Maureen Johnson. Good morning, Nerdfighters, and good morning, John Green, if you are watching this. It is January 25th. I can't believe that so much time has passed. Time goes way faster when you get older. Have I talked about the logarithmic age scale yet? I have. I talked about it very briefly in the vegetarianism video. Basically, I believe that you should have many birthdays when you are young, because more stuff happens when you're young than when you're old. When you're old, you don't want to celebrate birthdays every year. And when you're young, you want to have one every week. The problem is figuring out which logarithmic coefficient exactly we should use, and also that no one would ever buy into it. But maybe if we work on it really hard, like there's not other more important stuff to work on really hard, but anyway, that has nothing to do with what I wanted to talk about today. So that was the first segment of this video, stuff that I didn't mean to talk about, and here is the second segment of the video, news reports from John. I just talked to John. He's doing very well. They have decided to keep Henry. John was literally changing a diaper when I called him. That sort of hit home to me, like, yeah, you're really a dad now. You're changing a diaper. More news from Henry is that Henry currently has the hiccups. So that's adorable. And John and Sarah are both very tired. Now I'm gonna toss it over to Hank for news about his puppy. Thank you, Hank. Much appreciated. That's right. I got a dog. Kind of. Catherine and I are fostering a greyhound that didn't work out in another home. There are a couple of issues with the dog. One, we can't figure out what to call it because it has no name. Greyhounds, because they spend their early lives as working dogs, don't get called ever. So if you make like adorable noises like they'll come to you, but this dog doesn't have a name and I don't want to call it. But we don't know what to call it. It's a girl and she's 8 years old and she's really adorable and very nice. And the only reason that we might not keep this dog is because there's one member of our family who gets 10 million votes and outvotes everyone when making family pet decisions, and that member of the family is Cameo. And right now Cameo's vote is firmly against the dog. We're trying to persuade her, but additionally, the dog kind of doesn't like Cameo very much, or possibly likes Cameo too much. It's worth noting that greyhounds are bred specifically to chase fluffy things, so greyhounds are often very focused on fluffy things. And we really don't want it to be focused on Kitty's fluffy tail. So if they can learn to be friends, then we're definitely going to keep the dog. In any case, we want something to call it because we're fostering it for the next week or so, while they're working on making room for her at the greyhound farm. And finally, since we're talking about dogs already, I'm gonna kick it over to Hank from last week, and he's gonna start you off in an episode of Truth or Fail about dogs. Maureen, I will see you on Wednesday. My name is Hank Green, and my brother just had a baby! And all this talk about John Green's baby is making me think about, possibly taking the next step in my life. So me and my wife have been talking a lot about making our 2 into 3. I'm talking, of course, about getting a dog. And as I've been reading up on these marvelous creatures, I've found out many fascinating facts. And now I'm gonna tell you some of those facts, but some of them are gonna be lies. Every round you get 2 facts, and all you have to do is click on the true one, or you fail. Let's go! Anybody know what that's from? Leave it in a comment if you know what that's from. Fact number 1. Chewbacca, Han Solo's ever-present arm tearing out of the socket's sidekick, had vocalizations that were based on those of an Alaskan Malamute. Or, fact 2, all dogs, because their brains are much less complicated than ours, are ambidextrous, favoring neither their right nor their left paw.